Now, one thing we know about these dirtbags who support Donald Trump is that most of them are complete frauds. Now, not all of them are frauds. Some of them are actually honest about who they are and what they believe. Some of them are actually honest about their hate and their bigotry. But most of them are not. Most of them are frauds. Most of them, for example, pretend to be Christians. Oh, they're devout Christians, don't you know? They go to church every Sunday and they pray for other people to be deported to third world concentration camps and to be murdered there, I guess. That's what I think a lot of them pray for when they go. And who do they pray to when they go to church? Listening to most of them talk, you would think, and maybe it's true, that they actually pray to Donald Trump. I mean, they treat this man as if he were God. I mean, the way these people talk is almost blasphemous, the way they talk about Donald Trump. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They're frauds. They pretend to be Christians, but that's it. It's pretend. They can call themselves whatever they want. But how do you judge a person? By what they call themselves? Or by what they actually believe and how they actually behave? Now, none of us are perfect. You know, that's a fundamental aspect of Christianity, that no one is perfect. So even in being Christian, no one is perfect. But these people, what is it about the teaching? What parts of the teachings of Jesus Christ do these people actually live by, actually follow? Near as I can tell, virtually nothing. I can't even think of any aspect of the teachings of Jesus Christ that these people actually put into practice. They're frauds. They're phony, fraudulent Christians. And I want to take the occasion of the election of a new pope to talk about this just a little bit more. Now, I don't really know much about Pope Leo, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'm learning about him, as most of you are. I never heard of him before. But what I have learned so far is that he's not afraid to delve into politics, or at least to talk about issues that are the center of very heated debate in our politics. And I think that's a really good thing. Maybe he will provide some leadership. Not that Pope Francis didn't, but maybe he will, in his own way, provide, I hope, strong leadership on some of these issues that are at the heart of our politics. And if he does, as he has in the past, that will only further prove that a lot of these people who pretend to be Christians, who pretend to be Catholics, are nothing but frauds. Now, here's an article from the New York Post. Let me show you this really quick. New Pope Leo spent years retweeting criticism of Trump policies. I saw that. I'm like, isn't that interesting? Newly elected Pope Leo XIV spent years amplifying criticism of President Trump's policies on social media, with the Catholic Church's first American leader taking particular aim at the Republicans' hardline immigration stance. Leo XIV, until Thursday, known as Robert Francis Prevost, 69, shared or retweeted the opinions of colleagues using his verified account on X, formerly known as Shitpost Central, Twitter. His final X post before being elected by the conclave in the Sistine Chapel was a retweet of a message from Philadelphia-based Catholic commentator. Let me try that again. Philadelphia-based Catholic commentator Rocco Palmo, who on April 14th slammed Trump's partnership with El Salvador's President Bukele on deportation of illegal immigrants. Anyways, this article goes on a little more to talk about the ways in which our new pope has criticized Trump policies. I'll link this article in the description below, along with this post from the new Pope. He didn't post this as Pope. He posted this back on February 3rd on Twitter, referencing, this is not a retweet, this is his own post. He posted an article from, here's the article. What is this? I am so tongue-tied today, man. What's going on? National Catholic Reporter. So he retweeted this article, headline of which is, J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. And the Pope, or the Cardinal at the time, wrote this: J.D. Vance is wrong. He posted the headline of the article. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others, and he posts this article. Very direct, right? He's not tiptoeing around it. He's calling out the Vice President of the United States very publicly on Twitter, saying, you're wrong, douchebag. Of course, he didn't add the douchebag part, but he would be not incorrect to do so had he, but he is a much better person than I would have put douchebag. Anyway, so he calls out this douchebag, and how often do you see religious leaders do something like this? Now, will he do this as Pope? I don't know. I sure hope so. That would be great if he did. But anyway, so far, so good as far as I'm concerned with this new Pope. But as I said, I don't know much about him. I look forward to learning more about him. But let me say a few things, which goes to the hypocrisy and the fraud of these, not just Catholics who support Donald Trump, but all people who claim to be Christians who support Donald Trump. Because what is it about Donald Trump that leads them in their Christian journey, in their faith, because they say faith is important to them. If you listen to these people and why they vote for Donald Trump, a lot of these people for whom, their Christian identity is important, they will reference their Christian faith as a reason they support Donald Trump. Well, what is it about Donald Trump that would lead a supposed Christian to support this man? Is it the hate? Is that what Jesus taught? To hate groups of people? And near as I can tell, these MAGAs, they hate virtually everybody. I mean, they hate people just because of the color of their skin, or their sexual orientation, or their country of origin. I mean, they hate people for so many different reasons. They pretty much hate everyone in the world. The only people, I guess, that they don't hate are white, heterosexual, natural-born American citizens who also support Trump. Because if you don't support Trump, they hate you. Right? So it has to be all of those things. If you're not white, most of them hate you. If you're not straight, most of them hate you. If you were not born in the United States as a natural-born citizen, most of them hate you. And if you don't worship the Orange God King like they do, they definitely hate you. So you have to be all of those things for them not to hate you. So that means they hate, near as I can figure, pretty much everyone in the entire world. Is that what Jesus Christ taught? To hate everyone who is not exactly like you, doesn't look exactly like you, doesn't act exactly like you, doesn't love exactly like you, doesn't have the same immigration status as you, and doesn't vote the same way you do? Is that what he taught? I don't think so. How about the way he treats people? I mean, we got the hate down, right? But it's not just hate. It's even beyond hate. For certain groups, it's dehumanization. Look at the way that Trump and his cult talk about immigrants or illegal aliens. They put labels on people, all kinds of labels. And the label replaces their humanity. You're not a human being to these people if you came to this country looking for asylum, fleeing your country where you maybe fear for your life for various reasons, or you fear that you're going to be persecuted for your beliefs or whatever. You come here seeking asylum, pursuant to our asylum laws. We have laws on the book that allow for people to apply for asylum in this country. If you do that, they hate you. You're an illegal. They don't care if you're coming through the legal process or not. You weren't born here, you're an immigrant, or you're an illegal alien. They label you that, you're no longer human. So Donald Trump is in their minds fully justified in having you kidnapped off the street, sent to a detention camp, and ultimately sent to a friggin' gulag for the rest of your life, perhaps to be murdered in El Salvador or wherever else they're setting these things up. Why? Because he labeled that person, Trump labeled that person an illegal or a gang member or whatever. When Trump labels them something negative, that's it. That's what they are. They're no longer human. They're whatever Donald Trump just labeled them. And they have no rights. No constitutional rights, no human rights of any kind. Donald Trump can do with that person as he pleases, and they'll cheer. They will cheer. Donald Trump enjoys, because of his sick mind, he enjoys inflicting pain on people. You could see it the way he treats people. He likes targeting people and harassing people and bullying people, and he likes to make them the target for his cult, to even up the ante, maybe attack those people. How many times have we seen him at rallies? There might be some protester, and he encourages the crowd to beat the hell out of them. And he said, beat the hell out of them, I'll cover your legal fees. This man is a sick, demented, in my mind, an evil person. The things that he says and does, to me, there's no other word for a lot of it other than evil. Is that what Jesus taught? Harass, bully, inflict pain on people, and enjoy it? And encourage others to do the same? Is that what Jesus taught? All you phony Christians? How about the lying? Oh, the friggin' lying. I doubt there's been anyone in human history who has been a more pathological liar than Donald Trump. The man seems psychologically incapable of doing anything other than lying. He lies, as I've said before, he lies as if it were a bodily function. He can't help it. He lies when there's no reason to lie. He lies about virtually everything. Is that what Jesus taught? To lie, to deceive? How about the conning? How about the fraud, the literal fraud that he's been convicted of? He's had business, he's had nonprofits set up for the explicit purpose of defrauding people. How about Trump University? I don't know if that was a for-profit thing or what, that particular case. But that was set up purely to defraud people. He's offering them bullshit Trump University degree that is worthless. It teaches them nothing. Charges them exorbitant tuition or fees or whatever they called it. Gives them a worthless friggin' certificate, the kind you can pick up at Staples. And he charges them thousands of dollars, and it's worthless. He cons these people. He buys friggin' cheap tennis shoes from China. By the way, I wonder if there will be a carve-out for all the cheap crap that Trump buys from China, then does like a 10,000% markup and then pushes to his idiots and his cult here in America. I wonder if there'll be a carve-out for those goods. Because he's got to grift. He's got to make money off of these fools. So he'll buy cheap sneakers from China, spray paint them gold, sign them, and charge people hundreds or thousands of dollars for these things. He has someone on his staff make cheap little digital friggin' Photoshop images of him with no shirt, rippling muscles, riding a friggin' dinosaur. And then he charges these people hundreds of bucks. And these morons buy it. Oh, man, if stupidity were a sin. Anyway, how about the lying and the grifting and defrauding people? How about having other people do your dirty work, using them as pawns to, I don't know, maybe overthrow the republic, attack the Capitol, attack another branch of government in an attempted coup to keep your fat orange ass in office illegally and out of prison? How many of those people had their lives ruined? I talked to you just a couple days ago about a January 6th defendant who showed up to the Capitol. He got swept up in the Trump cult, shows up at the Capitol because Trump tells him to, attacks police officers and members of the press because Trump told him to. He gets arrested. He gets prosecuted. He goes into a downward spiral, gets divorced. His life's fallen apart. Now he's suicidal. This is according to him. And he ends up killing a woman on a highway because he says he was suicidal and he's trying to outrun the police after a routine traffic stop. He goes on the wrong way on a highway because he's so upset about the fact that he might be going to prison for the January 6th related crimes that he committed. Kills an innocent woman, 35-year-old woman on the highway. All of that because of Donald Trump's lies about a stolen election. This guy's life is ruined. That woman loses her life, is killed. Her family devastated. All the devastation as a result of this one act, which traces directly to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump uses people like pawns. He doesn't give a damn about any of those people he had attack the Capitol. Doesn't care what happened to him afterwards. Now, he pardoned them, including this guy who was under criminal indictment for killing a woman. Donald Trump pardoned him. He was just sentenced a few weeks ago, I believe. Or no, he was convicted. Sentencing hasn't happened yet. Donald Trump pardoned him after he killed this woman, before he even had his trial. Trump pardoned him for the January 6th crap. Anyway, how many cases were there like that? How about the Ashley Babbitt? You know, she got all caught up in the friggin' cult, did the same thing, comes to the Capitol on January 6th to help Donald Trump overthrow the republic. She gets killed because she's breaking in to the Capitol. She's shot by a Capitol Hill police officer. She's dead because of Donald Trump. Now, these people, Ashley Babbitt, this guy who ran into oncoming traffic and killed a woman, they have agency, all right? They have free will. Right? I'm not putting it all on Donald Trump. They did what they did. No one made them do what they did. But they wouldn't have done what they did but for Donald Trump. And the way he uses people and manipulates people and cultivates this cult-like worship. How many people's lives have been ruined by this man? And Christians support him? Damn near worship him? And some of them do worship him. I have no doubt. They look at him as you know, the second coming. What else do I have here? How about the adultery? How about that? How many wives? You know, isn't that a sin? I mean, I thought it was a sin. Apparently not. Apparently, today's Christians in America celebrate adultery. I mean, they loved the fact that Donald Trump was nailing a porn star. That only made them like him more, a lot of these people. You know, he's got his, what number wife is Melania? I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. Is it 3, 4, 5? I don't know. She's at home with their newborn son, and Trump is at a hotel nailing Stormy Daniels. This is the Christian hero among MAGAs. They tell us, oh, Donald Trump is such a good family man and such a Christian. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, and since we're staying on the sexual depravity, how about the sexual abuse Or as the judge said is commonly referred, what Donald Trump was found liable by a unanimous jury for having done, is commonly referred to and understood as rape. Digitally penetrated a woman forcefully against her will. In many states, that is rape. That's what they call it. Some states, they call it sexual assault. In New York, they call it sexual abuse. That's what he was found liable for having done to E. Jean Carroll. And many other women accused him of the same or similar things. Seems these MAGA Christians have no problem with that. Sexual abuse, hate, targeting people for destruction, using people as pawns, let them ruin their lives for Donald Trump's benefit. All of this is Christian, huh? Not at all. These people make me sick. And anyway, circling back and wrapping this up, I am really glad at what I've read so far about the new Pope. And I hope that he very directly, as he has done in the past, calls out some of these unchristian things that Donald Trump and his MAGA phony Christian cult support as being contrary to the teachings of Jesus Christ. Whatever your perspective on Christianity, whether you are a Christian, whether you're some other religion or no religion at all, you can at least recognize what Jesus, we are to understand what Jesus taught and what these people do and say and believe. And we can see very clearly that those things are miles apart, that these people are frauds from top to bottom. Anyway, I'm encouraged by this new Pope. I hope we see more of that. By the way, the new mug of my little friend back here, Little Blue Bear, there he is on a mug. I don't like hawking merchandise, but I know people were asking me to create some merchandise with Little Blue Bear, so that's what I've done. And if you're interested, there'll be a link in the description below, so you can go to the Romano Report shop and get one of your own. There's some other things up there. There's going to be more stuff. I'm creating new designs. This guy is also going to be on different products. Right now, he's just on a mug, but you can check back soon. There'll be different products available, different iterations of this design. So if you are into Little Blue Bear, as I am, you can pick up one of your own. Anyways, thank you so much, as always, for watching. Be well, and I'll talk to you again soon.